Hey friends, welcome back. It's so great to be practicing with you again. Today is going to be slightly different in the way that to celebrate the end of the year, I thought I would offer a slightly longer practice. So asana, pranayama and meditation as well. So a very full rounded practice to deepen into ourselves. And I thought I'd do this to celebrate the end of the year, to reflect on where we've been and to perhaps create a path for where we're going. If you would like to invite some items into your space that feel really nourishing, maybe a candle or a flower, even a blanket for Shavasana, then please feel free to. Again, this is a very nourishing, long practice, so it's nice to feel celebrated and welcomed. So 2 things. Today's practice is going to be working up into some inversions. If you don't know what an inversion is, it's an asana where the heart is above the head. So even a downward facing dog is an inversion, but more specifically, we'll be working towards handstands and headstands. Of course, these are options. What's great about inversions is that quite literally, it allows us to flip our perspective. So that's, quite significant going into the next year, to see if we can flip or change any energies or old habits or old perspectives so that we can create space for new perspectives. Second thing is that on my Instagram page, Current Movement, I will be posting every day 10 to 15 minute live streams of movement, of daily practices, whether that be the yoga asana practice, whether that be more strength, more cardio based practice. It will be in New Zealand time, but I will shift the times throughout the day, so perhaps you can join in live from overseas. Although if you cannot, then you can also watch the live streams again once they've been recorded. Anyway, we will get started standing up for this practice, just a little bit different. So let's start towards the top of the mat. Feet can be together or slightly apart. And just starting to close down the eyes if that feels comfortable. Just softening the knees so we're not locking them out. Softening any tension that we're holding around our face. Softening the shoulders away from the ears. But keep lifting up tall through the spine. And in our inversion practice today, it is really important that we try and find our intrinsic equilibrium. And what that means is the kind of stacking of our body without any muscular engagement. So we want to try and find our long spine. We want to find the openness of our collarbones. And that's something that we're going to be working on today. Check in with your attention. If you do notice that your mind is somewhere else before or after this class, know that it is totally normal. And see if you can lovingly and kindly invite it back to your body. Find your 3-part breath. So breathing into the chest, the ribs and the diaphragm. And see how much air you can expand your lungs with at this point of practice. You may be sighing out of the mouth, releasing anything that you need to let go of to be more here. Perhaps even finding your ujjayi breath, so the constriction of the back of the throat as we breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the nose. And we want to try and maintain this through our asana practice. On your next breath in, start to sweep the hands up Lifting your eye gaze, soft squeeze of the glutes. As we exhale, bring the hands back by the sides. Inhale to reach again. Pressing the palms together, exhaling, bringing it by your sides. Inhale to rise. As we exhale, bend the legs, tip forward, hinging from the hips, Uttanasana, forward fold. Just take a few minutes here to find your Uttanasana. Maybe bending one knee, bending the other knee. Shaking the head, yes and no. On your next breath in, bring the hands to the shins, halfway lift. Squeeze the back body here, so draw the shoulder blades behind. Now you can stay with the hands on the shins for a few breaths, or you can bring the hands towards your hips, thumbs wrap around towards the back. And you can use this class as a way to tilt your pelvis forward slightly. We don't want to overarch through our back, but often we're underarching when we do our flat back. You could stay here, or you can bring the hands behind you, clasping the knuckles, trying to pull your knuckles towards the back. Keep reaching the crown of the head towards the front on an in-breath. And then as you exhale, soften down into your Uttanasana. Pull the pinky fingers forward. Rebound, halfway lift again, hands to shins. As we exhale, fold forward. Plant the hands down. Let's step the right foot back into our Anjaneyasana. So lower the right knee down, take a big breath in to reach the hands high. Exhale to deepen here. Bring the hands towards the ground, tuck onto the right toes, lift the right knee up. Take a big breath in to step back to plank. As we exhale, draw the elbows close towards the body and then come all the way down towards the ground. Untuck the toes. Use your next in-breath, baby Bhujangasana. Light press through the hands, squeeze the glutes. You can stay with the hands on the ground, toes are also on the ground, or you can take your hands off just for a little bit of a challenge. Let's try one more breath. And then lower down towards the ground. Let's press up onto our hands, tuck onto our toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's take a few moments here to maybe pedal out the feet, drawing one heel down, drawing the other heel down. Again, trying to find your breath here. This is our first inversion of the day. Well, I guess you could say a forward fold is an inversion as well, but this is a slightly bigger asana. Now, we never want to lock out our knees here. I mean, unless you've got perfect alignment with your spine, we want to keep soft bend of the legs. Try to draw the heels down towards the ground, press the fingertips towards the ground. Start to bend the legs, look forward, step your right foot in between your hands, then draw the left knee down. Use your next in-breath to sweep the hands higher, Anjaneyasana. Exhale to draw the shoulder blades back, hips sink down towards the ground. Take the hands towards the ground again, tuck onto the left toes, step the left foot in, Uttanasana. Use your next in-breath, halfway lift. As we exhale, fold again. Inhale to rise, lift both hands, lift the eye gaze. Exhale, hands by the sides. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, lift. Exhale, bend the legs tip. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins or hands to hips, or hands clasped behind the back, draw the knuckles behind. Take a big breath in. As we exhale, fold. Release the hands towards the ground. Take a big step back with your left foot. This time, use your in-breath to sweep the arms high. Keep the left knee off the ground. Exhale, high lunge. Find the ribs towards the hips, so we're trying to stack our spine long. Use your next in-breath to bring the hands towards the ground. Step the right foot back. As you exhale, tuck the elbows in close, come halfway. Use your next breath in to open into your Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, thighs off the ground. As you exhale, back into your Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. A little pedal out of the feet here. And then when you're ready, let's bend the knees again. Look forward, step the left foot in between the hands. Keep the right leg off the ground. Use your in-breath to sweep the arms. Exhale to deepen into your high lunge. Drop the hips down. Draw the shoulder blades back. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, bring the hands down. Step forward into your Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. This time, as we exhale, bend the knees, start to sink the hips towards the heels. It's okay if your heels are lifted here. And then place the hips down towards the ground, extend the legs out into your Navasana. Now, knees might be bent here. You might have your hands around the thighs. You can even touch the toes down. Try and find your long spine by lifting up tall, drawing the chest towards the thighs. Shoulder blades pull back, hands revolve towards upwards. If you're feeling the challenge, you can extend the toes a little bit higher. Let's take a few big breaths here. Keep finding that length. Building a little bit of heat, a little bit of engagement through our core. See if you can slowly, really slowly lower the legs and lower the chest. Not even going to low boat, we're kind of going to mid boat. Not that that's a thing, but one more breath. Then place the heels onto the ground, hip width distance. Take the fingertips behind you, turn the fingers towards you. Use your in-breath to press through the heels, lift the hips high. Let's stay for a breath in our reverse tabletop. You could stay more still, or you could shift forward and back slightly. So engaging through the hamstrings and even opening out through the wrists a little bit. Let's take a big breath in. As we exhale, start to lower the hips, but keep them hovering as you swing them behind you. Lift the toes high. Press away from the ground. See how high you can lift your hips. You can always touch down here. Use your next in-breath to sweep back high. Reverse tabletop. Draw the knees in slightly. As you exhale, swing the hips behind. Round to the upper back. Puff up. Draw the shoulder blades away. Use your next in-breath. Last time. Reverse tabletop. Lift. As we exhale, swing it behind. Press through the knuckles, press through the fingertips, and then release the hips down towards the ground. Wow. Lift up tall through the spine. Take the hands wide, clasp them into fists, and roll out your fists. You can also bend your knees here slightly to give you a little bit of a lift through the lower back. Switch directions if you haven't already. And then bring the hands down towards the ground. We're going to find our Dandasana, or our staff pose. See how far you can press the palms down towards the ground. Mine aren't even touching, but you might have really long arms and they might be able to touch. Keep lifting tall through the crown of the head, but keep drawing the palms down. 2 more breaths. I can really feel the sensations through my nerves at the moment down the arm. Then release the hands forward slightly. Take a big breath in to lift up tall. As we exhale, Paschimottanasana. Draw the chin in towards the chest. Again, you can always have a soft bend of the knees here. We won't stay here for too much longer. Take one more breath. See if you can lengthen a little bit further towards your feet. Exhaling to deepen you into this asana. Let's walk your hands back, cross over the feet, find your way into a tabletop position. So hands under shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Spread the fingertips wide. So with our inversion practice, especially with our handstands, it starts from the ground up, and with our inversions, it is with our hands. So we don't want to have a small base of support with our fingers together. Spread them wide, take up room. Press through the fingertips, press through the knuckles and the palms evenly. Take a big breath in to find your cow. Drop the belly, lift the eye gaze, shoulder blades pull back. As you exhale, round through the upper back. Draw the chin in towards the chest. A few more rounds in your own time, in your own breath. You might even like to take some circles on the wrists, if that feels comfortable. Maybe even shifting forward and rippling back, or side to side. How can you make this feel most nourishing for you at this moment? Find your way back to neutral. So draw the belly into the spine, keep pressing away from the ground. Start to extend your right hand towards the top top left corner of the mat, and then sink your chest down. So finding a little curve through the spine. See if you can draw the right hip back. Breathe into the right rib. Use your next inhale to come back up, sweep the right hand high. As we exhale, thread the right hand towards the left side. We won't stay here for too long. Try press through the left hand to revolve the left shoulder back. Use your next in-breath to sweep the right hand up again. As we exhale, bring the right hand down. Start to extend the left hand towards the top right corner of the mat. Start to sink the heart down. Big opening through the side body, down the obliques, down the lats. And then use your next in-breath to come back up, sweep the left hand high. As we exhale, draw the left hand towards the right side, soften the left temple towards the ground. Press through the right hand to draw the right shoulder back. One more breath. Use your next in-breath to sweep the left hand high again. As we exhale, place the hands down. Set both hands out in front of you. Take a big breath in. As we exhale, soften the heart space down. Puppy pose. Hips are stacked over the knees. If the chest is really close towards the ground and the forehead touches, you might like to encourage the eye gaze up, maybe the chin grazes on the ground, but if you feel any pinching through the lower or upper back or neck, then please let that go. Let's take one more breath. Try draw the armpits towards the ground. And start to shift the weight forward to keep the elbows on the ground so the hands are parallel with each other. You can stay on your knees or you can tuck onto your toes to lift the knees off the ground, trying to find our hover here. On your next in-breath, see if you can hover the right foot off the ground. As you exhale, tap it down. Inhale, left foot hovers. Exhale, tap it down. One more time. Inhale, right. Exhale, tap, draw the tailbone down. Inhale, left. Exhale, tap. Either on the knees or the toes, one elbow or two elbows, press yourself up to high plank. Ooh. So you're a little bit further extended away here. See if you can hollow out this plank a little bit more by either stepping the toes back or extending the hands forward. Try protract the shoulder blades away from each other so you're pulling them apart. Draw the belly into the spine, round to the back slightly. Engage through the quads. Let's try one more breath here. And then find your way back into that slightly elongated high plank position. Either one or two elbows, knees or toes, lower the elbows back down. Take a big breath in, reach the right toes high. As you exhale, extend it out towards the side. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale to tap, really firing up the core. Inhale, lift. Exhale, extend, keep the hips still. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale to tap. Right side, inhale. This time, see if you can draw the right knee towards the elbow, doesn't have to touch. Exhale, send it back. Inhale, touch it down, other side. Inhale, lift the left. Exhale, draw it forward. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale to tap. Woo. Draw the hips down, squeeze the glutes, find your Sphinx pose. Little moment to chill. Draw the shoulder blades onto the back body, press the elbows into the ground, heart space pulls through. Let's try one or two more breaths here. Then slowly lower yourself down towards the ground. Bring the hands by the ribs. Then tuck onto your toes or press up onto your knees. Tuck onto your toes, downward facing dog. Just for a moment, recenter. Then draw the knees towards the ground again. We're going to lift the energy just a little bit again before we get into some sun salutations. Spread the fingertips wide. Press the knuckles into the ground. A few different options here. You could tuck onto the toes. Well, we're practicing our pike position. So we're going to lift our hips up, drawing the knees close towards the body, protracting the shoulder blades away from each other. And then we're going to lower down. Another option, which is a little bit more challenging, is to have the tops of the toes on the ground. Okay? So use your next in-breath. Start to lift the hips, either tucking onto the toes or keeping them flat. Draw the shoulder blades away from each other. Draw the chest through. Engage through the belly. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, draw the knees down towards the ground. Inhale to drop the belly, find your cow. Exhale, come back to center. Let's try that a few more times. So inhale to lift. Exhale to squeeze. Drop the knees down, inhale, cow. Exhale, center. One more time, inhale, lift. Press away from the ground. Exhale, come down. Inhale to lift. Cow, exhale, neutral. Tuck onto the toes, lift the hips up, walk your feet up towards the top of the mat. Bring your feet to hip width distance, draw the chin in towards the chest, bend the knees slightly. You can stay with the hands hanging. If they come towards the ground, you can bring the palm to meet the back of the foot. Even just the fingertips, whatever is within your reach. Use your in-breath to lengthen through the spine halfway. As we exhale, fold forward again. Draw the elbows towards the side of the mat, chin towards the chest, eye gaze behind you. Keep trying to tilt the pelvis so that the belly is spilling down the thighs. Just bringing a little bit of relief for our hands and for our forearms. And then just releasing the hands from underneath the feet. Take a big breath in, bring the hands to the shins, halfway lift. As we exhale, fold forward. Inhale to rise, lift both hands, lift the eye gaze. As we exhale, hands by the sides. We'll flow through a few rounds of Surya Namaskar A, but we're going to modify a little bit. Take a big breath in to sweep both hands high. As we exhale, clasp opposite elbows. Try to lift up on your in-breath. As we exhale, tilt back slightly. Inhale, come back through center. As you exhale, draw the right elbow over, lean up and out of the left side body. Inhale, back through center. As you exhale, dive forward, bend the knees, let the forearms come down towards the ground. So you're still with the clasped elbows. Inhale, you can bring the hands to the shins, or you can keep the clasp, lead with the forearms. See if you can press your head into your forearms, draw the shoulder blades back. Stay here for a breath, engage the core. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, place the hands down towards the ground. Step back or jump back through your chaturanga. Elbows come close. Inhale to open, Urdhva Mukha. Draw the shoulder blades back. As we exhale, come up and back, downward facing dog. On your next in-breath, start to sweep the right toes high, three-legged dog. As you exhale, step halfway up your mat. Inhale, left toe sweep high, standing splits variation, soften the right knee. As you exhale, step it towards the top of the mat. Inhale, sweep the right toes high. This time come up onto fingertips, standing splits. As you exhale, round through the upper back, tap the right toes towards the right wrist. Use your next in-breath to sweep it high again. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. As we exhale, fold again. Inhale to rise, ripple through the spine. Head comes up last. Exhale, Tadasana. Hands by the sides. Inhale to lift. As you exhale, clasp opposite elbows. Inhale, lift up tall, squeeze the glutes, draw the ribs in. As you exhale, baby back bend, press the head towards the forearms. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, left side, tilt, lift the right rib off the hip. Inhale, come back through center, soften the knees. As you exhale, dive forward, bend the knees, and set the forearms towards the ground. Next, inhale, halfway lift, your variation. Keep that spine really long. As you exhale, place the hands down, step or jump back through your chaturanga. finding your way back into your downward facing dog. Keep spreading the fingertips wide, press into the knuckles, weight is even through the hands. On your next in-breath, sweep the left toes high, the three-legged dog, draw the left hip down. As you exhale, step it halfway up the mat. Inhale, sweep the right toes high. As you exhale, step it towards the top. Inhale, standing splits, left toes sweep high, draw the left hip down, come up onto fingertips. As you exhale, round to the upper back, tap the left toes towards the left ankle. Inhale to kick it back. And then as you exhale, bring yourself down into your Uttanasana. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rebound, lift the arms, lift the eye gaze. As you exhale, hands by the sides, Tadasana. One more time each side, a little bit different this time. Inhale to lift. As you exhale, take the hands behind the back, soften the knees here, draw the knuckles down. Inhale to rise. As you exhale, tip from the hips, draw the knuckles towards the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. You can bring the hands to the shins or keep the knuckles clasped. Stay here or transfer the weight into the left foot. Start to sweep the right toes high. Virabhadrasana 3. Keep pulling the knuckles towards that back foot. Draw the right hip down. Draw the ribs in slightly so we're not overarching through our back. Take one more breath. As we exhale, release the hands, keep the foot lifted. Now you can either go back through your chaturanga, you can step it back, you can walk it back. If you would like to try jump into a three-legged plank, that is also another option. Using your in-breath to open, using your out-breath to come up and back. If you've lost your Ujjayi breath, find it again. Use your next in-breath, sweep the right toes high, look forward, bend the left knee, either step or you can do a little hop back into your standing splits. So first opportunity to play with a little handstand. As you exhale, draw the toes towards the wrist, round through the upper back. Inhale to sweep high. As we exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As we exhale, fold again. Inhale to rise, lift the arms, lift the eye gaze. As we exhale, Tadasana. Find your intrinsic equilibrium. So the spine is stacking on top of each other. Use your in-breath to reach high. As you exhale, take the hands behind the hips. Draw the knuckles down, open through the collarbones. Inhale to lift. As you exhale, tip forward, bend the knees, draw the knuckles forward. Inhale, halfway lift, option to keep the hands behind, hold here, or start to transfer the weight to the right foot, lengthen the left leg behind you. Virabhadrasana 3. Hold for a few breaths here. Keep drawing the left hip down slightly. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, release the hands towards the ground. Remember, you could go back through a normal chaturanga, or even just go straight back into a down dog, or you can find our way into a three-legged chaturanga. We'll meet back in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Keep lengthening the tailbone. Use your next in-breath to sweep the left toes high, bend the knees, look forward. One hop or a few little hops into your standing splits. Inhale here. As you exhale, round through the fingertips, tap the left toes towards the left wrist. Inhale to sweep again. Extend the spine long, draw the left hip down. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. As we exhale, fold again. Inhale to rise, lift the arms. Exhale, Tadasana. Oh, we've got a little bit warm through here. We're going to find our way back into our down dog, whatever shape or way you would like to. Could even add on a crow pose or another handstand, anything else you'd like to add on. Taking as much time as you need to have some fun. Play along the way. This is your practice. Likewise, if child's pose is on your cards, then please go for it. Take a breath or two when you've found your downward facing dog. Now you can stay here. Option to draw the elbows towards the ground to find your dolphin pose. Draw the elbows in slightly so that they're parallel with each other. You might need to walk your feet forward just a tad. Keep the knees softly bent. Draw the tailbone towards the ceiling, chest towards the thighs. Draw the shoulder blades up the spine. Either coming back to down dog or use your next in-breath to ripple yourself forward to plank. Elbows come off the ground, right knee touches the right elbow. As you exhale, three-legged dog, option to keep the elbows off or to tap them down into dolphin. In-breath, use the right knee to the left elbow. Exhale, three-legged dog or dolphin. Inhale, draw the right knee into the nose, round through the upper back. Step the right foot through. Start to pivot towards the left. Place both heels in, toes out. Use your in-breath to lift up tall. Exhale, goddess squat. Knees press out over the toes. Draw the ribs towards the hips. Take the hands out wide, clasp into fists, and start to roll them out. Bend into your knees a little bit more. So just giving a little bit of break from our upper body. Start to push the right heel out. So the right toes turn towards the side. Left elbow comes down towards the left thigh. Right hand comes up and over for our Utthita Pajvakonasana. Another option here is to bring the left hand down towards the ground. Keep revolving that right shoulder away. So using the left elbow or the left shoulder is a great way to press the left thigh away to open. Take one more breath. Start to come up through center. Turn towards the front. Hips are square. You might need to hop that left foot out slightly. Take a big breath in, lengthen through both legs. Option here to take the hands behind, either clasping opposite elbows or bringing the palms together or as close as they can. Reverse prayer. Again, inhale to lift. As you exhale, tip from the hips, fold forward. Soften the right knee joint here. You can also just bring the hands down towards the ground or towards the shin. Take one more breath, long spine. Then bring the hands towards the ground. First kind of opportunity to do a handstand switch. So you might need to walk that right foot back slightly. Lift the left toes and then do a little switch in the air. So press up, kick, left foot plants, take a long step back with the right foot. Turn the toes out, find your goddess squat again. Hands come toward the side. Roll your wrists out, maybe in the opposite direction. Another option here is to come up onto your toes, lift the heels off the ground. See if you can sink a little bit lower with this variation. Keep the core active. Place the heels down, turn the left heel out, toes in. Draw the right elbow towards the ground. Left hand comes up and over, or right hand comes towards the ground. Revolve your eye gaze towards the ceiling or the sky, wherever you're practicing today. See if you can make a long line all the way from your left fingertips towards your toes. Use your next in-breath to come up. As you exhale, start to pivot towards the front. Both legs are long, square the hips here. Find your arm variation of choice. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, start to fold forward. Now you're probably not going to be able to come down far here, and that is okay. Even if you're up just a tad over, no worries. Try press the insides of your palms together. So your thumb and that space in between. Shoulders are back. One more breath. And start to bring the hands down towards the ground. Tuck onto the right toes. Use your in-breath to sweep the left toes high. Option to bring the elbows down. As you inhale, draw the left knee towards the right elbow. As you exhale, draw the elbows down. Option, otherwise three-legged dog. Use your next in-breath to draw the left knee towards the left elbow, round through the upper back. Exhale, lift it high. And then tap the foot down into your dolphin pose. Take one more breath here, soften the knees. Keep pressing away with the upper body. If you are in your dolphin, come back to your downward facing dog. We're going to have a little play with our handstand practice here. Make it fun. If we fall out, awesome. Go you. I'm right here with you. On your next breath in, let's sweep the right toes high. As we exhale, draw the right knee into the nose and then step the right foot in between the hands. Just make sure that you have a bit of space in front of you. Draw the left knee down. We're going to make this a little bit flowy. Use your in-breath to sweep the hands high. As we exhale, bring the hands towards the ground. Tuck onto the left toes. Try that little handstand hop again. Spread the fingertips wide, round through the upper back. And then a little switch. Right foot lands back, drop the right knee down. Take a big breath in to sweep the arms high. As we exhale, bring the hands down. Lift the right toes, little handstand hop. This time, take the left foot back. Turn the left heel in. Goddess squat. Draw the shoulder blades back. Arms are wide. Turn the palms up this time. Take another breath here. See if you can deepen on your exhale. Pivot yourself back towards the front. Place the hands down, inhaling. As you exhale, little kick. Turn towards the right. Goddess squat. Sink low. Keep drawing the ribs in, tailbone under. Inhaling, drawing the hands back towards the front. Lift the right toes, little kick. And then turn towards the back. Bring the elbow towards the left thigh. Right hand comes up and over. Utthita Paj Vodkonasana. Lift the eye gaze. Remember, you can always extend the hand down if you'd like. Next in-breath, come back up through center. Place the hands down. Maybe you even meet the feet towards the top. And then we'll try that on the other side. So right elbow down, left arm up and over, left leg is long. We've got one last variation, this time back of the mat, Ardha Chandrasana. Use your in-breath, bring the hands down, flick the toes. So turn the left toes towards the back, expand the arms wide. Start to lift the right foot off the ground. Hips are square towards the side. Flex the right toes here. Your hands can touch the shin. It can be floating. If it reaches down towards the ground, you can. Another variation, if you wanted to, is to take the right foot, bend it behind, clasp the right hand around the glute, around the foot. If you've got the foot, see if you can kick away. One more breath. Then take a long step back with the right foot. Keep facing the left side. Turn the toes in, heels out, feet are wide. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, fold yourself forward. Prasarita Padottanasana. Keep tipping the pelvis forward. If you notice that the weight is mostly in your heels, can you shift it forward into your toes? Soft bend of the legs. We're not locking our legs out. That's just also to contract the muscles, so we're not pulling without engagement. One more breath. And then start to walk your hands towards the top of the mat. Last time, last side, although you can always practice more if you would like. Start to kick. And then find your Ardha Chandrasana. Right toes turn towards the back. Although they are slightly in, so they're not completely parallel. See if you can revolve that left shoulder back, left hip back. So trying to stack as much as we can. Option here to bend the left knee, take the left hand around the left foot. Finding a little kick. One more breath. And soften the right knee, take a big step back with the left toes, turn the toes in. If there's a different variation that you would like here, maybe hands behind the back, you can take it. Take a big breath in to lift. As you exhale, bend the knees, fold forward. Take a few breaths here. And then release the hands if you have them. Start to walk to the top of the mat. Take a big breath in to step the left toes back, optional vinyasa, or you can head straight back into a child's pose. We will all meet in our balasana. Just a reminder that if you wanted to have a bit more of a practice, then please feel free to pause the video and have a go in your own time. In fact, I would encourage it. Can you inflate your back body with even more breath? Fill it up as much as you can with prana, with life force. Letting go of anything that is holding you, anything that you need to reset. And start to walk the hands back towards the knees. And cross over the feet. Come onto the sit bones and just rock yourself forward. I'm going to lie down on our backs. We're not going straight into to slowing down or to rest. But in the meantime, before we do that, just draw the knees into the chest. Find yourself in a ball. You can even lift yourself up a little bit higher, maybe taking the hands around the elbows, pulling the knees into the chest. And then just releasing the hands by the sides. Bring the feet in behind your hips. Use your next in-breath to start to lift the pelvis off the ground, then slowly articulating through the spine to find our Setu Bandhasana. You could stay with the hands by your sides, or you can walk up a little bit higher onto your shoulders, clasping the hands underneath. Squeeze the glutes, draw the ribs in slightly. Knees aren't splitting apart, try to draw them in. Let's try one more breath. Release the hands if you have them. As slow as you came up, can you slow this even more down? Now, a few different options for what you might like to do next. You can bring your feet above your hips, so they're stacking into your waterfall. Otherwise, we could find our Salamba Savangasana, our shoulder stand. What we can do is press through the hands, start to lift the feet, rock the hips back, then bring the hands behind your lower back. Keep reaching the toes up towards the sky or the ceiling. Squeeze the glutes. Keep the pressure in the legs, so draw the quads in. Scoop the belly into the spine so we're active through our core. We'll take about 5 more deep breaths here. Can you lift up even taller? If you feel any pain through the back or the neck, please let this go. And then when you're ready, just lowering the chest down, lowering the back down, lowering the legs down. Maybe drawing the knees towards the chest. you could say here, we can find our Matsyasana, our fish pose. I'll talk this through with you because I haven't done many other people's classes where this has been in the asana practice, so you might have to have a little look here. Extend the legs out long. I find it easiest if we bring the hands around the outer thighs, press the elbows into the ground, and use a breath in to lift the back off. Draw the eye gaze behind you. Come on to the tops of the crown of the head. Okay, so we're extending through the throat, feeling the neck. Extend. Take as many breaths as you would like here. It's just a counter pose for our quite a strong shoulder stand. And then when you're ready, just coming back down. Draw the knees back into the chest. If you need more of a time to rest after that, please do. Otherwise, just bring the backs of the hands around the backs of the legs. Roll yourself up. Cross over the legs. Find your way onto your hands. We have the opportunity to play with our headstand here, our Shashasana, Salamba Shashasana. If this is not where you want to go today, then please find a position that feels comfortable. If you wanted to go ahead with it, I'll just talk you through it. What you want to start with is drawing your crown of the head towards the ground. You could also bring a blanket or something underneath your head if you needed a little bit of support. Clasp your hands together and try scoop the pinky fingers up towards the crown of the head. Elbows come in about shoulder width distance, so they're parallel with each other. And what we want to do here is you want to lift the shoulders up the spine, round through the upper back as much as you can. There are a few different ways that you can get into this. You can tuck onto the toes, lift the hips. Now you want to try get the hips as stacked as you can over the shoulders. Keep engaging through the upper back by drawing the shoulder blades up. Now you might practice with drawing one foot off, and then maybe the other foot joins you, so you're kind of in this pike position. Again, keep retracting the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe you stay in this pike, maybe you extend one leg up, maybe you extend both legs up. You're pulling on your head, okay? Squeeze the glutes slightly. There is another way of coming into this, if you would like it, that may be a little bit easier, and it's from a wide-legged forward fold. So you might extend the legs wide, bend the knees, bring the hands down, and that gives you a little bit of a wider base of support. And then from there, you might come onto tiptoes. You can also bring blocks underneath your feet if you need a little bit of height. And then maybe you draw the feet up the side. Then maybe they come up a bit more, or you could just hang out when they're by the side. Keep breathing here. So finding that 3-part breath, even though we're upside down. And we'll have a little bit more time to play on this if you would like. If you are done and you are ready to rest, you can find your way back into a child's pose. Perhaps even resting the forehead down on your forearms. You can also just bring yourself into a kneeling position. This is kind of nice so that the blood drains away from your head. Another great thing about inversions is that they really just increase the circulation. They increase that energy through the body. So handstands or Adho Mukha, Vrikshasana, downward or upward facing tree, downward facing tree, handstand. That's known as more of a heating pose. our Salamba Shirshasana, our headstand, is known as both a heating and a cooling depending on what you're wanting from it. But it's a great way to just bring some new energy into the body. Catch your breath again. We're going to slow things down. So we'll just find our way onto our belly. Perhaps by stacking the hands together, even bringing a pillow, or if you've got that blanket, maybe you'd like to bring it underneath your forehead. You could stay exactly where this is, or you could start to draw the knee up towards the right knee up towards the right side. And we'll just stay here and relax for a little bit, decompress. Let's take one more breath on this side. And start to draw the right knee in. And then extend the left leg long, or the left knee bent out to the left side. And if being on your belly doesn't feel comfortable right now, please feel free to come onto your back. Letting go, melting any tension that you're holding, not only in the physical realm, but also in the mental and more emotional, spiritual realm. Just letting things pass with ease. Take one more breath. And then bring the left knee back to center. Let's slide the elbows underneath the shoulders. Let's find our Sphinx pose again. So hands come out. So the hands are parallel with each other. Again, try press through the ground and lift yourself up tall. Retract the shoulder blades behind you. Keep squeezing onto the glutes so we're not overarching through our lower back. You could stay with the hands on the ground. If you felt like you have a little bit more space, you could lift the elbows off. You could even walk the hands a little bit higher. Let's take one more breath. Fully present in this pose. And then soften the heart space down towards the ground. Bring the hands by the ribs, press up onto your knees. Then cross the feet over, come onto your sit bones. Let's bring the right foot towards the ground. A few different options here. We can just find an easy Sukhasana. You can bring the left foot up onto the shin. You could even bring the left foot up onto the thigh, maybe even up to the hip crease. If you are doing this, I would recommend just lifting the foot up, rocking it around a little bit before you bring it up and then over. Rock the sit bones back. You're lifting tall out of the lower spine. We're going to find a little twist. If you wanted a little bit more, start to turn towards the left and see if you can wrap the left hand behind the body, perhaps clasping at the right hip, or if it meets the right hip, or if it meets the left toe, see if you can clasp onto that. Take a big breath in to lift. As you exhale, twist even further towards the right. Right hand can be on the right shin, or you can even bring it up and around the left thigh. Shift the eye gaze down the left side body. Let's come back through center. Option to stay with the bind, or you could release it. Let's take a big breath in to lift. As you exhale, start to walk yourself over the direction of the left knee. So heart pulling towards the left thigh, drawing the chin in towards the chest. Remember, you can always release that left hand whenever you would like. Let's take one more breath here. And walk yourself back up through center. And start to slide the left foot over towards the right so that the left knee is stacked on top of the right. Option to extend the right knee out. Okay. Otherwise, we can tuck it in as long as you have both sit bones on the ground. Finding our Gomukhasana, our cow face pose. Option here to find an arm bind, but we've done quite a lot of arms here. If you are looking for it, you can bend the right elbow, left hand may come on top, or left hand might sweep behind. Otherwise, hands come towards the ground. Take a big breath in to lift. As you exhale, fold yourself forward just a little bit. Compressing into our hip joints, it should feel pretty good. This might be a great time to just reconnect with your intention that you may have set. You may had set for yourself at the beginning of your practice. Asking yourself if it's still relevant, and if it is, keep bringing it back. If you feel like energy has shifted, perhaps you call in a new intention. One more breath. And start to walk the hands back. We'll swap to the other side. So start with the Sukhasana. If you know you want to take the right foot a little bit further up the shin or the thigh, go for it. Maybe the hands come around the ankle and you just rock from side to side. And that just kind of gives a little bit more space so you can slot the right foot towards the hip crease. So working into our Adha Padmasana, our half lotus. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, start to twist. Now you can just bring the left hand around the right thigh, or you could try to reach the right hand towards the left foot or the left hip crease. Find your drishti, your eye gaze. If you notice that your eye gaze is darting around, try to keep it still. Just flexing the right toes here is just going to stabilize the knee joint a bit. If you do feel any pain in the knees, unwind, unravel a bit so you find a position that does feel more comfortable. Take one more breath, using your inhalation to lift, using your exhalation to twist. And just releasing, so we're facing the right knee. Take a big breath into lift. You can keep the bind if you'd like. As you exhale, start to draw the nose towards the knee. Keep attention on your pranayama, on your ujjayi pranayama. It's still relevant here. And then start to walk the hands up. Slide the right foot across towards the left. Again, you can always extend the left leg out if you find your right sit bone comes up here. So try lift up tall. If you would like the arm bind, you can take the left hand up and over. As you exhale, walk yourself forward. Again, trying to draw the hip bones towards the ground, but levering yourself forward to give some weight into the legs. One more breath. And start to unwind, walk the hands back, bring the feet out hip width distance, take the hands behind you, fingertips pointing you. Use your breath in to lift the hips, squeeze the glutes, press the hands into the ground. Now you can stay here, or we can find that little hip swing again. So when you're ready, take a big breath in to lift. As you exhale, start to swing the hips back, lift up the toes, press out of the ground. And last kind of bit of activation. And then lower the hips down. Nice. Start to walk yourself forward a little bit on your mat. Bring the feet together, knees come wide. Take a big breath in to lift up tall this time. Reach the hands forward. Exhale to deepen. Draw the knees down. Take a big breath in to lift. Exhale, roll down through the spine. Stay in your Supta Baddha Konasana for a few breaths. We're just finishing with 1 or 2 more asanas on our back. Then we'll be heading into Shavasana. If you'd like to, just bring your blanket close by so it's easy access for when we do head into Shavasana. Maybe using the help of the hands on the outside of the legs, start to draw the knees together and then towards the chest. Maybe the hands clasp around the elbows. And then bring your knees out so they're stacked over the hips. Now you can stay here, or you can cross the right knee on top of the left. So finding a double clasp. Maybe the right foot joins around the left calf. Try to take the hands out wide. Scooch the hips towards the right slightly. Use your breath in. And then as you exhale, start to tip towards the left. Finding your Gurundasana twist here. See if you can shift the eye gaze down the right shoulder. If you feel any pinching throughout the back, if you do have the bind of the legs, see if you can release. And then make your way up through center. We'll just swap it out to the other side. So crossing the left leg on top of the right this time. Maybe the legs stay apart, or you could try take the left foot behind the calf. Scoop your hips towards the left. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, draw the knees towards the right. Eye gaze down the left hand. Just invite the left shoulder down. And it's just going to encourage that big thoracic twist through the spine. Let's try one more breath. And then finding our way back up, landing in our Shavasana in whatever shape or way that looks for us. Maybe you'd like to take the blanket over you. Maybe you'd like to even bring a pillow underneath your head just to rest the head down on. I'll be here for a few minutes just to completely relax. And that's what our Shavasana is for. It's to just absorb the benefits of our asana practice. To let go of any extra unnecessary tension. So we can bring in more feelings of ease, of rest. See if you can soften any of your facial muscles. So softening the eyebrows, softening the eyelids, softening the whole back of the body. So we just melt into the earth beneath us. Let's see if we can move beyond the thinking mind. You can almost think about the consciousness, the thought patterns flowing through our head as clouds in the sky, a thick layer of clouds. And just like a plane taking off, beneath these clouds we're kind of filled with the environment around us, kind of the smallness of our world, or the prakriti in Sanskrit, just the things, the objects, the relationships. But as soon as we move beyond the thinking mind, moving beyond the rational mind, we open into this bright blue sky, almost no clouds in sight. Some days this cloud might be thicker. Some days it might be easier to pass through. It's almost the goal of our yoga practice, is to come to this place beyond, where everything is easeful, everything is peaceful and infinite, abundant. Let's take a few more breaths in our Shavasana. See if we can bring some light movement back into our body. Just keeping the mind, the heart, the body really soft in the process. Perhaps by just circling the wrists, circling the ankles, circling the mouth and the jaw, the eyebrows. Filling up the lungs with even more breath. in our own time, we will find a way into a seat. And invite yourself to take as many movements as you want to make your way up here. So maybe that's rolling onto your side or drawing the knees to the chest. Just keeping the eyes soft or even closed. We'll find a way into a Sukhasana, a seat, although if this doesn't feel comfortable for you now, you could also find your way into a kneeling position or anything else that feels good. If you have something to sit on, like your blanket or a pillow or anything close by, just to lift the hips to give you a little bit more space, then please feel free to do so. And just close down the eyes if you've opened them. Or practice some pranayama. Pranayama meaning, prana meaning life force. Ayama meaning expansion. So expansion of our life force. It is also that is done through our breath. It is used to center us, and it's great for moving on into our meditation, so we are more focused and still. What we'll do is we'll practice a simple samavriti, same variations. It's also called box breath, or a version of samavriti being box breath. So we'll start by breathing in for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, breathing out for 4 counts, and holding at the bottom for 4 counts. We'll work our way up to 8, then bring it back down to 4. At any point, if this doesn't feel good with you, then please let it go. So let's sit up tall. All exhale fully. Let's breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Use your Ujjayi breath. Inhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 6, 5. Don't force it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ujjayi, exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. And return back to normal breath. So you might notice that your attention is a lot more drawn onto your breath. You might feel more expansive, more open through the thoracic cavity. You are more than welcome to keep seated. If you would prefer to lie down onto your back, please do. If there's another variation of a position that you would like to take for your meditation, please do. Perhaps that's sitting on a chair, maybe that's feet up against a wall. You'd still want to feel quite alert here. It's a little bit different from a Shavasana where we're relaxing. We're still practicing our drawing of attention back to our present. And perhaps you'd like to keep this meditation a little bit more open-ended, just kind of sitting with the thoughts, noticing the thoughts, being an observer, and drawing yourself lovingly back to center when you do notice you veer off. If you would like to have more of a focused meditation, perhaps you would like to bring some reflection onto this year. How has this year been like for you? When you think back on this year, what feelings are most present? When you think about these things, whatever comes up, try not to judge them. Let them be as they are. And sometimes we can bring a physical reaction to whatever comes up. So see if you can relax as these memories, these impressions, samskaras come up. Was this year more of an inhale or an exhale for you? Inhaling being, in the sense, time more withdrawn internally, a time of rest, of recuperation, of self-study, of learning, or an exhale being more exerted, more energetic, more outward focused. Perhaps it's been a bit of both. Have there been any major learnings that you would like to take into the next year? And just like our inversion practice, is there anything that we can bring a new perspective to? Is there anything that we can shift our energy with so that we come into the new year with more intentional energy, more focused energy on what we need right now? Heading into the new year, is there any values, any words, any mantras that reflect what this need is? Every year is going to be a little bit different. If you feel like you are in need of more of an inhale in the way of coming back to yourself, coming back to your center, exploring your own, maybe you choose a quality that resonates with that, and vice versa with the exhalation, if that's what you are needing. And just reminding ourselves that what we need will always ebb and flow. We will always need times of rest, and we will always need times of a bit more exertion and energy. And just like an inhale and an exhale, one doesn't come without the other. We need both to survive, we need both to thrive. And so don't feel bad for feeling like you need time within. I would even encourage it to be even more of a rebellious, even more of a significant step. Let's just have a few moments in quiet to reflect upon this. Eventually transcending the thinking mind to more of the feeling heart. Just notice what thoughts are flowing through your mind at the moment. Just notice, observing. And see, with a big exhale, maybe even out of the mouth, can you ground yourself even more right here? Breathe a little bit deeper. Relax the jaw, relax the eyebrows. Again, making some movement with the hands, making some movement with the toes. Maybe even some circles with the head, drawing the head to one side. And then head to the other side. If you're lying down or if in another position, just take your time finding your way up to a seat. If you are in a seat, perhaps you'd just like to release the feet from underneath you. If you've got any pins and needles, or if your feet are numb, like mine, you can just bring some movement back into it. We'll just sit up tall. Bring the hands to our heart center, connecting our physical realm with our body, with our breath, with our more subtler realm, our mind space, our heart space, and even beyond the clouds, beyond the prakriti, the things that we can see. Let's bow our heads in honor of this practice and take this moment to be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself for showing up for this practice and staying until the end. Be proud of just making it through another year. These last few years have been really tough, and the best we can do for ourselves and for others is to be kind and to lead with love, lead with our heart. And I thank you for turning up, for practicing with me. And if you've been with me the last few months, I thank you for joining me. And I hope to see you again in the new year. Remember, if you are on Instagram, you're more than welcome to follow Current Movement for the January challenge of just 10 minutes, 15 minutes of movement every day. Otherwise, I will see you here again on YouTube next year. Namaste. Thanks, team.